Solid. Imperfection in solid in the sense we're going to see there are mainly two types of defect. There is crystal defect. Point defect means it is irregularity or deviation from ideal arrangement around a point or an atom in a crystalline substance. So this is a point defect. Line defect means irregularity or deviation from ideal arrangement in entire rows of lattice point. They are to be called as line defects. So these irregularities as a whole we call it as a crystal defects. So imperfection in solids in detail we are going to learn in the next part, that is about ionic defects in ionic solids and the non-ionic solids. Non-ionic solids, there are two types mainly, interstitial defect and as well as vacancy defect. Now let us see what is interstitial defect. When some constituent particle, it may be an atom or a molecule, occupy an interstitial site. For example, these are the molecules. When it occupies an interstitial site of the crystal, then that is to be called as interstitial defect. What is the impact of density? It increases the density because some exteriorly some particle is going to occupy an interstitial site, so it enhances the mass, so it increases the density. Vacancy defect, what happens when a lattice sites are vacant? So in a lattice, in a crystal, the lattice sites becomes vacant. So these two, when it becomes vacant, the crystal is to have a more vacancy defect. That is to have a vacancy defect. Vacancy defect means when the lattice sites are vacant, the crystal is to have a vacancy defect. What is the impact of density here in this case? It decreases in density because the crystal in the lattice site are missing. So there is a reduce in mass. So it is decrease in density, and this defect can also be developed when the substance has been heated. So this is about defects in the non-ionic solids, interstitial defect and the vacancy defect. Ionic solids. What do you see defects in the ionic solids? There are two types of defect, Frenkel defect and Schottky defect, which is very important. So Frenkel defect, it is also called as a dislocation defect because a smaller ion, which is usually cation, has been dislocated from its normal position and it occupies an interstitial site. So it is also called dislocation defect, and there is no change in the density of solid because in the same atom the molecule is going to come into the interstitial site, so there is no change in the density of the solid, and there is a large difference in the size of ions. Examples are AgCl, AgBr and zinc sulfide. Coming to Schottky defect, the other name here it is number of missing cations will be equal to number of missing anions, and here what happens, it is electrically neutral and the density decreases because there is a missing of certain ions, that is missing of cation is equal to missing of anion, density decreases, and the example for this is sodium chloride in KCl and cesium chloride. The point to be noted here is AgBr shows both the defects, that is Frenkel defect as well as in Schottky defect. So this is in defects in the ionic solid, Frenkel defect and Schottky defect. F center is nothing but an anionic site which has been occupied by an unpaired electron. It is due to the metal excess defect, so due to an anionic vacancy. So that is to be called as an F center. It is also called as a colored center. So these are called as F center of magnetic nature. So in that first foremost we are going to learn what is a paramagnetism. Paramagnetism is nothing but the substances which are weakly attracted by a magnetic field and there will be presence of one or more unpaired electrons. So such a substance is called as paramagnetism. Diamagnetism, the substances are weakly repelled by a magnetic field, so they are to be called as diamagnetism. Here there is no unpaired electron, but whereas in paramagnetism there was a one or more unpaired electron. There is a difference between paramagnetism and diamagnetism, and this is weakly attracted by magnetic field and this is weakly repelled by magnetic field. And then coming to ferromagnetism, ferromagnetism is nothing but these are the substances which is strongly attracted by a magnetic field. That is called as ferromagnetism. Paramagnetism, diamagnetism and the ferromagnetism. Before we could discuss antiferromagnetism and ferrimagnetism, we should make a note of what is domain. Domain is nothing but in a solid state, the metal ions of ferromagnetic substance. Ferromagnetic substances are the substance which is strongly attracted by magnetic field, are grouped put together in a small region in a solid state, that is called as domains. Domains are nothing but they are the metal ions of ferromagnetic substances only. They will be grouped put together in a small regions like this. So this is to be called as a domain, that arrangement. Next, coming to antiferromagnetism. Antiferromagnetism means the substances which are showing antiferromagnetism, they have a domains along similar to ferromagnetism only, but their domains will be oppositely oriented and they cancel out each other's magnetic moment. It is called anti. The name itself tells us that the magnetic moment cancel each other and their domains will be oriented in the opposite nature. Ferrimagnetism, here domains will be aligned one to other parallel in nature. They will be parallel and anti-parallel in direction, such that it is unequal in number and is weakly attracted by magnetic field substances. On heating also it becomes, this ferrimagnetism on heating it becomes paramagnetic. This also point to be noted. Molarity is being defined as the number of moles of solid by volume of solution in liters, or in other way you can define it as the number of moles of solid dissolved in the 1 liter, that is 1 cubic decimeter solution. So this to be called as molarity. Molarity is inversely proportional to temperature, as molarity is inversely proportional to volume. So we have many parameters like molarity, molality, normality, parts per million. In that, only molarity depends on temperature because of volume. Volume is dependent on temperature. Coming to molality, molality means the number of moles of solute per kg of solvent. So it can also be put it in the words like it is a mass of solute by mass of a solvent in kg. This is molality and that is molarity. Molarity is dependent on temperature, since volume is dependent on temperature, and molarity does not depend on temperature.